I'm Walkster 1970. Today I'm going to be replacing the rear axle seals and bearings on my 2001 Ford F-150. You can see there's a little bit of play in this axle. I'm hoping that the axle itself is okay. But the reason I'm replacing it, the bearing and the seal, is because I replaced the seals once before. Now this axle's leaking again. Okay, I'm going to start by removing the cover bolts. These are 13 millimeters, and they shouldn't be on tight because I had this off before. Now I got all the bolts out of it, I'm going to try to pry in between here carefully. Here we go. And a little dirty in the bottom. There is a bolt right here. It's an 8 millimeter. That needs to come out before this pin will come out, and then I can get into the clip. That is a 5/16. 8 millimeter is a little too big. There we go. And that should allow me to push this out. Okay, I got the pin out. Here's the pin. A little dirty, I'm gonna clean it off. And there's a clip that I pulled out that is sitting up in there somewhere now. There it is. Yeah, fell in the oil. Surprise. There's the clip. That's worn pretty good too. I might need a new axle. I'm gonna try to pull this seal out of here. Should be able to. I had her out once before. There we go. I got some grease on me. It's nice. Now, see if I can get that bearing out of there. I'm going to try this 3-jaw puller that I picked up from Harbor Freight. And a slide hammer. See if I can grab a hold of this thing. Wow, that's not coming out. Let's try it again. Got a pair of gloves on. There we go. Finally. Whew, it was tight. I'm gonna stick my magnet in here. Make sure I get the rest of the bearings out. Okay, this may not be the most intelligent idea, but I'm going to take this rag, put some brake clean on it. I did get a good deal of the shit out of there. Okay, I tied another rag on there. I'm going to run her down through again.
Oh yeah, it looks better. Much better.
This bearing, I'm going to put it so that the writing is on the outside. Whatever that is, if you can read that on there. And this fits right over top of it. Okay, let's take that new seal. Seems to be pretty good. Putting this Mobile One synthetic lubricant. This has got the limited slip friction modifier included. There we go. Move that around a little bit. Oil up the bearing, or the seal I mean. This is the replacement axle number. 630-215 from Advanced. This is the old axle, of course. You can see that there is wear down on here. There's the new one. There's a clip and the old axle. Slides right in there. New axle. Fits good. I'm going to clean that up. I should be able to slide her back in. And got some brake clean, rubbing her on here. That's the dirt I got off of it. Okay, let's carefully slide this in here. There we go. Now we're in there. Yeah, we're in there. Here's the replacement lugs. I'm going to slide them in between there. Oh yeah, I should be able to. See right there is where the clip is going to go back in. And it'll go just like this. You can see the ring is slipped back inside of there, so it's locked in place, so that's good. Now I can remove the other one, pull that axle out and see what it looks like. I decided to put everything back together on this side. So I got the brake pad, or I got the rotor back on, I got the brake caliper back on, brakes, and pulled the studs through. 12mm studs, 100 foot-pounds. 14mm studs, 150. Cover. And that should be it for that side. I'll get the wheel off on the other side. See what that looks like. There we go. I'm going to pull the caliper off. 2 10mm bolts. think I replaced these last year. Oops. Well, that's one way to do it. Almost lose it. It's okay. Definitely stuck. Okay, I'm gonna take my grinder here. If I got enough rim, I think I do. I'm gonna try to cut right through his cable. That'll do it. Right now it should come off. And I gotta get a new cable. You can see in there. I'm gonna have to take that one out too. See what's going on with it. I should be able to pull this axle out. I got the clip out of it. Let's take a look at this one. This one doesn't look that bad. I decided I'm just going to replace the seal and the bearing. Here's the seal. It came out pretty quick. Hopefully the bearing comes out that quick. It's pretty dirty. Okay, let's see how deep that is. That is about half an inch. All the pieces of the bearing out of there. Looks like that's it. Go down the side of there. Yep. Still a couple pieces down in there. There we go. This is a national bearing, part number 6408. Picked that up from Advanced. Put her in with the writing out. Tap her in there. That sounded like it bottomed out. Yep. Did very well. Almost Mobile 1 synthetic oil. Seal is a DriveWorks S8835S. Also from Advanced. Tap her around. It's pretty good. Put some oil in there. Some down in there. There we go. It's nice. It's supposed to go this way so you can get access through this hole. There's a plug in here. You can access it and then adjust the parking brake. So I'm going to put some PB on this, loosen her up, and then put her back together. Okay, I'm going to spray a little bit of PB on here, just a little bit. It's already freed up because I've been turning it. I'm going to put that back in here. There we go. And now you should be able to turn it from there. And I'll have to get the clip back in there. Goes in like that. Let me see if I should go back in there. Oh, went right in. And push her back out. Went right in place, that's good. Now I'm gonna have to rotate it around so I get the pin line back up. Okay, I went and I torqued that down to 20 foot-pounds this time. It seems to be good. Okay, that feels nice and good there. New bearing on it. Kept the old axle, it wasn't bad. Good enough. So now I'm going to see if I can slide this over top of the brake. And this is what you need to adjust these brakes. Now I'm doing it from the front side, so hopefully it'll be a little easier. That'll work. So that needs 20 foot-pounds. Got to install this brake cable yet. It is a BCA 660009. And then hooks in here. I'm going to put it in here first. And then click it right in place here. There we go. I was pretty sure it was through this hole, because then it goes up and it hooks in there. And what's blocking it? Doesn't seem like anything. There we go. So that's going to be a problem on it. To get this to go on, ended up taking the end out of here, and whenever I depress the parking brake, my hope is that it'll slide the rest of the way back up through. I'd use a punch and drive it out. So it's hooked up in here and in there and back there. Let's see what it does. And it slid up in there, it looks like. This should be good. Torque these to 150 foot-pounds. There you go, I think that's all of them. 150? 150. And I'll be done with that side. This is the rear differential gasket I'm putting on, Field Pro RDS 55341. Got this from Advanced Auto. I'm going to be using some of this JB Weld RTV red high temp RTV sealant on the gasket. I went and painted the rear differential cover. It had some rust on it. Sanded it down, the wire wheel, and painted it. It doesn't look the greatest, but it'll work. See, I got both sides of the gasket coated with RTV sealant. I'm going to get the side cover, or the rear differential cover, and set that up on there. I've got all the bolts finger tight on the differential cover. I'm going to let it sit overnight, and I'll come back out and torque everything down tomorrow. I'm gonna go and take all these bolts out one at a time, put some Loctite on them, put them back together, and then we'll get to torquing them. Now that I've got all the bolts, got Loctite on all the bolts, I'm going to go around and I'm going to torque them at 10 foot-pounds. I've gone through and I've torqued them all at 10 foot-pounds. I'm going to go through again and torque them at 15. I torqued all of them down to 15 foot-pounds, and that should be sufficient. I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to fill it up with synthetic gear oil, and that should do it. I filled up the rear differential till gear oil started coming out of this hole, So that indicates that it's full. And it took almost 3 quarts of gear oil. So looks like that should be it. Everything should be back together and filled up. That'll do it for replacing the right rear axle, the bearings and seals, and refilling the differential on my 2001 Ford F-150. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe.